Transcript. In the barren American desert close to the border, the sun scorched everything beneath it. Kevin, a middle-aged black auto mechanic, strolled along a deserted road next to his old car. He was just an average man until he noticed a woman named Valerie nervously looking under the hood of her vehicle. As Kevin approached to offer assistance, a patrol car abruptly pulled over. Officer Cooper, a burly man with a scrutinizing glare, stepped out. "Is everything okay, sir? Is this man bothering you?" he inquired, sizing up Kevin like a suspect. "No, he's just helping me," Valerie assured him, but Cooper remained unconvinced. He demanded Kevin's ID, insinuating that black men were inherently untrustworthy. He even suggested that Kevin might be a wanted criminal. Feeling insulted but eager to avoid confrontation, Kevin handed over his ID. The officer's piercing gaze felt like a burden, a painful reminder of the bias that lingered in the atmosphere. As Kevin continued to work on Valerie's car, he noticed several peculiar signs that raised his suspicions. In the trunk, he discovered items he couldn't quite identify, but they hinted at something nefarious, something connected to organized crime. The more he examined, the more convinced he became that Valerie was not just an ordinary woman in need of help. Officer Cooper, having thoroughly checked Kevin's ID, still held reservations. He insisted on examining Valerie's vehicle, but Kevin quickly stepped in, assisting her in hiding the questionable items. Once the police officer had driven away, Valerie let out a sigh of relief and turned to Kevin. "Thank you for your help," she expressed, gratitude evident in her tone. However, Kevin's growing suspicion lingered. He looked directly into her eyes and said, "Your car isn't going to run again. I can give you a ride, but you need to be truthful with me. Who are you really?" Valerie hesitated for a moment, the weight of her truth heavy in the air. Finally, she sighed and admitted, "I'm Valerie, the wife of a notorious mobster. He's abused me for years. He's insane, controlling every move I make. Every time another man looks at me, he flies into a rage and beats me mercilessly. Once he even held a knife to my throat while I was asleep, just because he suspected I was betraying him." Tears streamed down her cheeks as she continued, "I can't live like this anymore. I want to escape, but he won't let me go." Upon hearing her story, Kevin felt a surge of compassion for Valerie. "I will help you," he declared firmly. "I'll take you to the border and assist you in fleeing from him." Throughout their journey to the border, Valerie gradually opened up to Kevin. She began to flirt with him. Every smile, every glance drew Kevin in deeper. In the barren landscape, they shared passionate kisses, and with each intimate moment, he felt himself becoming more captivated by her, despite the lingering doubts in his mind. As they approached the border, Valerie's demeanor changed. She grasped Kevin's hand tightly, fear flickering in her eyes. "Are you sure we'll get through?" she asked, her voice quivering. Kevin reassured her, "We'll be fine. Just stay calm." With a gentle smile, Valerie wrapped her arms around him in the car. Upon reaching the border checkpoint, they were instructed to stop for a document check. Kevin stepped forward confidently, telling the officer that Valerie was his wife and that they were on vacation. Everything seemed to be going smoothly until another officer demanded to inspect Valerie's suitcase. Valerie's expression changed instantly. Panic washed over her as they opened the suitcase. Kevin's heart sank. Inside lay an assortment of drugs and firearms. Valerie suddenly burst into tears, pointing at Kevin and shouting, "It's him! He's the mafia boss! I'm just a victim! All the weapons and drugs are his!" Kevin was caught completely off guard as everything unfolded in a whirlwind. The evidence in the suitcase bore his fingerprints, as if Valerie had meticulously orchestrated this all along. Kevin was immediately arrested by the police, while Valerie prepared to drive off in his car. Handcuffed and shoved into the back of the squad car, Kevin seethed with rage, replaying the betrayal in his mind. He couldn't let it end this way. As an auto mechanic, he knew the ins and outs of escaping such situations. With a few deft movements, he managed to slip free from the handcuffs and escape from the police vehicle. Fueled by anger and determination, Kevin raced towards Valerie. When he reached the car, he was met with a horrifying revelation. Valerie was not who she appeared to be. He overheard her making a call to someone, and it became clear that she was the very mafia boss the police were searching for. But the shock didn't end there. Kevin discovered that Valerie had undergone surgery to transform into a beautiful woman, effectively concealing her true identity. The realization crashed over him like a tidal wave. He had fallen for a man. The thought made him feel nauseous. Just then, Valerie spotted him, her voice dripping with malice. "I can't let you live. You know too much." With that, she drew a gun, intent on finishing him off. But at that critical moment, Officer Cooper appeared, having been watching from a distance. He intervened just in time, and a brief shootout ensued. In the end, Valerie was apprehended, though injured. Kevin was grateful to be alive. He had narrowly escaped the deadly trap set by Valerie. Officer Cooper, once skeptical of him, now understood the full story. Valerie, the leader of the mafia gang, was taken away in handcuffs while Kevin had survived the harrowing ordeal. The traumatic experience would remain etched in his memory. He realized how fortunate he was to have escaped. But he also understood that in life, kindness doesn't always yield positive outcomes, and not everyone is who they appear to be.